Bitcoin, and listen, in all fairness, Bitcoin didn't do a whole lot today. I do think in general, Bitcoin held up better than you would expect with the stock market selling. So maybe there was a little bit of safe haven buying there, but
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Gareth Soloway talks Bitcoin, stocks, and market cycles. What's next? What to watch? Stay tuned, and let's break it down.
remember, Bitcoin did pull back the last 2 days prior pretty dramatically when the stock market was flat to positive. So just keep that in mind. It kind of seems to all zero out. Notice the low on Bitcoin in the overnight. Where did it go? Right back to kiss this support zone before having a bounce. So now, what does this mean? Well, to me, it basically clearly shows us that we have resistance here, and this is a pretty tight range for Bitcoin at around 112,600, we'll call it. So resistance here, and then you have support here between 102,500 and 100,000. So you're stuck basically in a $10,000 range of consolidation on Bitcoin. And what you're watching for as a Bitcoin chartist, if you will, or a bull or a bear, is you want to see which level breaks. So right now, we were above this. We went up to the high end. Then we came down to the low end. Now we've moved up to the high and back to the low. Which way does it break? Does it break out above here, in which case it probably very quickly goes to 120,000? Or does it break here, in which case it goes to 95 down to about 93,000? That would be your next key support. Now, based on what I'm seeing in the charts, and again, this is going to more of what is it? Is it a risk asset or a safe haven asset? To me, it's still more of a risk asset. So with me being more on the bearish side of the stock market here at these levels, I would tend to favor the downside. But ultimately, let's let the price action tell us. Let's just watch. Which way does it break? Does it break here? Okay, well, then it goes here. Does it break here? Then you're looking at 120,000.
Pakistan's push toward Bitcoin adoption is gaining serious momentum. Now with the backing of MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor. In a recent virtual meeting, Saylor met with Pakistan's Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb and State Minister for Crypto Bilal bin Saqib to discuss how the country could integrate Bitcoin into its national reserves and digital economy. Sharing lessons from MicroStrategy's massive BTC strategy, Saylor emphasized the importance of trust, clear governance, and transparency qualities he believes Pakistan already has. Pakistan plans to build a Bitcoin reserve and is fast-tracking a national digital assets policy through the newly established Pakistan Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority. Saylor praised the country's commitment and talent, saying the same principles that helped his company thrive with Bitcoin can work for a nation too. Global support is also rising. Binance co-founder CZ joined Pakistan's Crypto Council as a strategic advisor, while U.S. businessman Zachary Woodcoff also partnered with the council. With strong leadership and international backing, Pakistan is positioning itself to lead the global south in digital asset adoption, setting the stage for a bold leap into the Web3 future.
The dollar today, which had tried to recapture this trend line after breaking below yesterday, we have backed off. And again, the dollar is only up a little. Now, what's interesting about that is that the dollar is usually a safe haven asset. So it is getting a small bid today, but the bid is very minimal for the fear that is engulfing the investing world out there. And that's something I'm just paying attention to because remember, when Liberation Day occurred, we did see a market that saw the dollar not being used as a safe haven, and the 10-year or the bond market treasuries were also not looked at as a safe haven. And that brings me to my next point here. Look at the 10-year yield today. So the 10-year yield initially overnight was lower, which is what you'd expect, right? If money runs to safe haven assets, then it buys treasuries. Buying or demand for treasuries makes yields go down. But instead, the 10-year yield is inching up here. And this again, by the way, and I want to make sure this isn't a mountain. This is what I would call a breadcrumb. but it's something that as an investor that's an informed investor, this is something that I'm paying attention to. Not that this by itself matters a ton yet, but if this continues, this could end up being something major later on. Now, let's turn our attention to oil here. Oil is trading up about 6%. That is far off of its highs in the overnight. Obviously, it got all the way up into the $77 range right here. But look at the downsloping parallel here. And again, for me, I sell into these events. And again, remember, folks, I look at things very much data driven. What's history told us? What is the charts telling us? Well, the chart clearly says that 77 was the high end of the parallel, so price should pull back. When you look historically at oil, when you have these things that go on in the Middle East, oil pops up in the near term, and then it tends to fade back down. Now, listen, if there's continued escalation, could it go up in the near term? Sure, it could. But overall, we know that eventually it will calm down, and then oil generally, historically, does pull back. So I like pullback action. I like a short trade on oil from these levels, as long as you calculate in the risk that it could pop a little bit more before it pulls back if there is escalation in the Middle East. All right, a couple other charts here, and I won't forget to go over Bitcoin this morning in the game plan. I did forget to go over Bitcoin, but again, I will go over it today. Gold here continues to rally up. Again, no surprise here. We got above this level, and we've turned up, came back to support, and then pushed up on gold. Gold having a solid up $44 day or 1.3%. So gold continues to be very, very strong here. And again, as long as there's uncertainty geopolitically, as long as there's uncertainty about debt, I really don't see how gold, I mean, listen, could gold pull back to 3,000? Sure. I mean, pullbacks occur, but gold to me continues to be, if you have an eye out 6, 12, 18, 24 months, my guess is gold continues to rally up over that period with pullbacks along the way.
BlackRock just made a major statement in the crypto world, buying $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin in just 1 week. According to data from Arkham Intelligence, the asset management giant was buying every single day, bringing its total Bitcoin holdings to a staggering 669,523 BTC, with Bitcoin trading at over $107,000. That's nearly $72 billion under BlackRock's control, putting it on the verge of owning 670,000 BTC and giving it significant sway over market flows and institutional sentiment. What's most striking is how quietly and systematically these purchases were executed. Arkham's data shows the use of a web of custodial wallets to spread the buys, hinting at automated strategies likely tied to daily inflows into BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust. IBT. This isn't short-term speculation. BlackRock is treating Bitcoin as a core asset, part of a long-term strategy to hedge against inflation and meet growing institutional demand. Each IBIT inflow is essentially a spot Bitcoin buy, and the size of these flows is now large enough to make visible waves on-chain. Unlike retail traders chasing price spikes, BlackRock is building its position with intention and scale. The real question now is whether other institutions can keep up, as giants like Fidelity and Franklin Templeton trail behind this aggressive accumulation. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.